Hi folks, this is Tom Summers, the director of the Milford Museum here on Southwest Front Street today, and we're going to talk a little bit about the former Carlisle Fire Company Hall. The fire company actually was here from 1924 when the building was constructed until 1978 when the fire company moved out on Route 14. What I didn't know before I started this job in Milford was this building was actually considered the community building. And we've got Harry and Carolyn Humes in here to talk a little bit about the building itself. Now, when it was constructed, the fire company and a gymnasium was actually located on the bottom floor. The second floor actually contained a billiards room, a full functioning kitchen, an auditorium, and a library. And at the auditorium, there were lots of dances, events, banquets, and other things held. It was really a community center. And today the Humeses are going to talk a little bit about what it was like at the community building. Harry, can you tell us a little bit about your memories of the community building?
Yeah, I remember the fire trucks particularly. They had an old ambulance in there. It's kind of shaped like a hearse, an old-time hearse. It wasn't big like a truck would be today. They had 2 or 3 fire trucks. Had an antique fire truck in there. The corner over here, there was a door that went up to an insurance company. C.D. Holzmiller had his insurance company up there. But Tom, you're right. The upstairs, I think the first room on the left was like for storage for chairs, tables, staging, stuff like that. Next one had a couple of pool tables in it, which we weren't allowed to go into. And then Miss Edith Simpson was the librarian, and she had the Milford Library. And I think she knew every book that was in there. On the right-hand side was a great big ballroom, and dances were held there, like on Saturday nights. I think the fire company had dances, and if you went in, you had to go past a table, and you just told the guy, I'm going to the library, and you wouldn't have to charge you to come in. So it was an interesting time. One thing I remember about that room, there was a man who made a movie. The old elementary school used to be in North Milford on North Street, and he filmed all the children coming out of the school one day. And 2 or 3 months later, they took us into that upstairs room here in the community building and showed us that film. It was terrible because you just saw kids walking very quickly. But it was used for that. It was used for dances. I think the Masons used it. I know the Milford Nursing School used it for graduation ceremonies in that room upstairs. Downstairs got used in that large room that looked like a gymnasium. It had basketball nets in it and things like that. But it was the old canteen that Dave Burton and I started when we were in high school. We played 45 records and things like that. But it was also used as a movie theater. The movie theater burned down, so they put in the substitute movies, and we used that room for that. One time it got caught in a flood, so the floor got warped so badly that it couldn't be used for basketball anymore.
Well, let's go ahead and take a quick turnaround and look at the building itself. Carolyn, you mentioned before that over here on the left side was actually where the library was located.
Upstairs, the top floor. It was these 4 windows on the left, because it was a large room. But what I remember, that big room on the other side, was Rotary met there. And our senior year, they would, or I guess other seniors, they would have them for a dinner just before graduation. And it was a big deal. You know, we all dressed up, and it was a good room. They had the dances, and I don't remember what Harry said about it.
Okay.
Whatever he said, I don't recall that part.
Well, so the library was over on the left side, I believe.
In the middle.
In the middle. Okay. And where was the banquet room actually located?
On the other side.
On the other side of the building?
Right.
Okay.
There was a large hall, and the library and pool tables were on this side of the hall, and on the other side was where the banquet hall was.
Okay.
And they held square dances and things like that.
And I tell you, to an 8-year-old, those steps were long and high. But the library was wonderful. I remember sitting on the floor on the stacks, and Miss Simpson was good. And she, if you've seen pictures of her, she was an old maid, wonderful lady. She had owl glasses, and she was just so friendly and so kind to kids that that probably started my love of reading between her and your mother.
Well, thank you very much today for your memories of the community building. This is really a structure which I think it's important for a lot of people in Milford to realize the history and significance of this building.
And why we call it the community building.
Do you still reference it when you think about it today as a community building?
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for your time today, and thank you for your time. We'll see you later.